I like him a lot. I think he'll be special.
Back tonight. Stevie J was run down. Oh, he was messing around. Sammy Johnny needed a little inkling. He got him.
Mate, you just nailed it.
You know, Eddie Maguire used to start, when he hosted the footy show, used to start it every time with, "It's been a big week in football."
Yep.
Fuck me, since we left last time on the podcast, fucking everything's happened.
It has. It's been, well, as the old cliche goes, a big week in football.
It's been a big week in football.
Not too big for the Pies, though. That's the only problem.
Okay, so we record on Monday nights, and they come out every Tuesday morning. So since we last recorded, first off, Hurdy finally fell on his sword.
He's done, yep. Someone knocked him on the head.
I couldn't see that coming.
Yeah, I reckon. So, I don't know what he does now.
He's going to hope that somebody can find a spot for a French MBA. Or, it's like I said at the time.
So he's going to give up?
I think he might become a lawyer. I reckon he's got enough.
Yeah, he's got the contacts.
Yeah, and he's also got one of those Subway cards. You get your 10th lawsuit is free. Yeah, so he's working on that.
With the Wiki Carbone, whoever it is.
Tell you what, I guess it's a good job to get. Like the Essendon
Subway?
job.
Oh, Essendon, yeah.
You might be looking at Subway.
Yeah. Well, you think it's a brave man that goes in there and goes, nah, I've got what it takes to fix this club. Like, what's your game plan going in? Like, where do you start?
Well, the good thing is you've got no expectations. The whole WADA Asada thing, that's out of your hands.
Yeah.
You can literally say, I had nothing to do with this.
But, I mean, this would be the first case where Essendon would employ a coach and have no expectations. I'm still not sold that the Essendon board can really come into a new coaching era and have zero expectations.
Yeah.
So I reckon unless you have the power to sack the board, you're probably going to be going down the old road.
Well, Paul Little's already said he'll leave once the WADA thing is finished, which I thought is the greatest thing to ever do for job security.
I was going to say that's a pretty open-ended tenure then.
I'll wait until this wraps up because, we've only been waiting 3 fucking years for it to wrap up.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, the Lance Armstrong case wrapped up pretty quick. So we can see he's probably there till his death.
Very, very smart move. That's why he's a billionaire or the best part of.
Yeah, and I mean, that was just the beginning of people who are on the way out. I think we had Jared Rivers has called it a day as well.
Today he did, yeah.
He's done.
Poor bastard. 196 games he's on, but the poor old knees, I think, couldn't get him over the line for the 200.
And probably Geelong's position on the ladder is probably not much hope for him coming on next year, so...
Yeah, I mean, he's over 30, and they've got a lot of over 30s.
Yeah.
So I think he was always going to end this year, but it's a shame that he couldn't get the big 200 milestone, but serviceable for him.
Did well for Melbourne as well until he got rid of him. So
in dark days.
Yeah, exactly. Still, I mean, he stuck it out for 100 games or something there. So, I mean, that's about as much as you can ask someone who's sitting on the bottom of the ladder. So
I think, and also if you look at the rest of the Melbourne players, who've gone through shitty times.
Yeah.
Someone like Jared Rivers went over to a very successful club in Geelong and still held his own.
Yeah, exactly.
He wasn't getting games, on pity. He was very good in a very accomplished backline. So it says something about the other players there. They might go on to somewhere else, or if they stay where they are. So and then onto that as well, we had the WA version of the Tribunal on Tuesday night, which was fascinating to follow online.
Yep.
First, we had Silvani with the running in with the elbow.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's very interesting how he got referred direct to the Tribunal.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit funny, but
and then got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Very, bit soft, but
that's
anyway.
what I thought as well. Especially when you see the footage, it's like 70 metres off the ball. Looked like in complete retaliation to just getting a spray. So, I mean, as far as giving someone an elbow to the jaw, it's kind of unprovoked, I would imagine.
Fairly unprovoked, yes.
Yeah.
He might have got 3. Anyway, nice little couple of weeks there. So he went in and took his medicine. Yeah. That was fine. And then they brought up the Maston one.
Yeah.
Biting in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The defence was beautiful. It was, let's say, a typical WA defence, because they've had some great appeals over the years.
They have.
Including, I meant to hit him low, but I got him in the head, which they've tried a couple of times.
Depending on what the sanction is. Like, I meant to get him in the head, but I got him low.
I think there was another one last year where I think their defence was, oh, come on.
Yeah. Come on, guys. I don't know.
This one, they went for the. They pulled in the biomechanical human movement expert doctor.
Holy shit!
Whose first words out of his mouth was, "I'm an Eagles supporter." He was just so happy to be there. It was a bit rough that halfway through his defence, through his testimony, he asked for an autograph. Wasn't a good move. It was downhill from there.
That's what happens when you get him off Craigslist. So.
And then they went. It was so funny how quickly they said, oh, he didn't really bite him. You go, well, look at his arms. He goes, yeah, but he had no choice. and then it was like, I tried to do whatever I could to get him off me. Like bite him? Yeah, no. Oh, shit.
It kind of sounds like Palhara's excuse for eye gouging Jake Shields.
Yeah, well,
I didn't eye gouge him. I was just trying to get him off me. By eye gouging him?
Yeah, pretty much. So eventually, then they, it's bad when the prosecutors use your own testimony in their summary statements.
Yep.
And you can't even back that up.
When you're their key witness.
Yeah. So anyway, I think he was very lucky to get 2 weeks, which is puzzling because either he gets off or he gets a month. But anyway.
Yeah, which I found it funny because this week I thought the match review panel got it just about spot on.
Oh, hang on, we'll get to that.
Right.
I'm still on last week.
We're still on last week.
I'm still on last week. I haven't even got to the games yet. Because then it was during the week we found out that Jake Carlisle coming off the ground against Essendon going, this club is fucked.
Yep.
You can't say he's lying.
Exactly right.
But we want honesty out of players. Yep. If it happens to be immediately when they come off the ground, then fair enough.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well for Dusty, but anyway. But I think Carlisle, it's going to be hard to hold on to him, isn't it?
It's very hard to hold on to him.
He's gone, hasn't he? He's gone.
Bulldogs. So that game was, Saturday or Sunday, and Hodgey was let go a couple of weeks later.
Yep.
A couple of days later, rather. By the way, when Hodgey was cleaning out his office, do you reckon he, bottom of the drawers, he found some records? Oh, shit!
That's where they were. Damn it!
And then the last one, the last one before we actually get to this week's games.
Yep.
Lockie Henderson goes in to say to the Carlton board, look, guys, I want to go play somewhere else. Yep. And they went, no 4 weeks notice, mate, on your fucking bike.
Did they really?
Yeah, he's not playing anymore.
Oh, yeah, because why would you want to, put his value up and try and get some decent
That's what I think too. They said we don't want to ruin his value because if he gets injured, his value goes down. And I would have thought, well...
He doesn't play.
Pretty
fucking worthless.
It's just weird. I mean, a lot of people had a go at Lockie for it. But I thought, it's being honest, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to Carlton and say, look, guys, I'm going to leave at the end of the season. I'll still play.
Yeah.
He hasn't released it to the media. He didn't go to a footy show or anything like that.
Yep.
He's gone to the Carlton board in confidence, or the coach, said, look, see
just
what you can get
heads
for
up.
me.
Yeah.
And they've gone, you're
plans.
out, let's go call a presser.
Yeah.
I reckon they've done him in there, but at least he had his mum go on 3AW to defend him.
Did he? Thanks, Mum.
Yeah, thanks, Mum. He must have been sitting there going, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Poor bastard. So do you want to go to the first game or do you want to jump straight to the MRP? Because that's what really was interesting out of this week.
I think we'll take it.
I think it's big enough to go straight to the MRP.
All right, let's do it.
So
let's jump in.
First off, Hodgey.
Hodgey, yeah. I think it's fair play. I think that's about all it deserved because the injury resulting to Wingard wasn't really much. He came back and sort of dominated play for the rest of the quarter, so could have just woken him up a bit.
He hulked up after that.
It looked really, really bad, obviously, to everyone. But
it is funny because as we were watching it in fast motion, you're like, he hasn't hit him. He's hardly hit him.
Yeah.
And then you look at it again, you go, I think he's hip and shouldered him into the bloody post, and he's wrapped it around. And then you look at another angle, it's like, well, actually, his shoulder's missed. He's got him on the hip, but the point post is still there. It's one of those ones where the AFL's almost made a rod for its own back.
Yeah.
In that some of the other tackles and stuff like this that's happened this year, they've said that, this tackle's fine, but you knocked him out, so that's extra.
Yeah.
This one, nothing happened, so it's not extra.
Yeah.
They're very much basing it on what happens afterwards.
Yeah, they are, for sure. And the thing is, I think it's not as black and white as that, as either it's right or wrong. Because I think in some circumstances it does sort of matter what happens, especially when you have a size differential between two players.
Yeah.
I think that's got to be taken on a different account than two players of the same sort of size killing each other. Because, Sandiland's trying to take out someone like Robbie Nahas, the actual
Let's face
action.
it, that'd be funny. What'd be funnier? Centerlands taking out Robbie Nahas or the other way around?
Either way, I think you'd be in for a winner. It'd be YouTube clips for 10 million views or something.
I reckon you can go on YouTube, you find clips of The Big Show from WWE slamming midgets. It's hilarious.
Been a long day at work today, hasn't it?
No, I haven't seen that. No, I didn't check it out today, but I have seen it before.
I thought Hodgey, fair enough. You come back for finals. Probably doing a lot of good having that rest before the finals.
It will, because he wasn't the only one, but a lot of the Hawthorn side looked tired and slow.
Yep.
But look, I made the comments today online that this is 5 game suspension he served now.
Yep.
The last time he served 3 weeks, we went 1-2 in those 3 weeks, so lost 2 winnable games.
Yep.
Now this time he's going to serve 2 weeks, and they're not important games, but it could have very easily been 3 or 4 weeks, and that's 2 finals he's missing out on.
Yeah, yep.
That's not fucking good enough from your captain.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Especially like you said, five missed games this
5
year.
5 games in a year.
And a team that's sort of struggling to get to that top 2 spot as well.
Yeah,
so
it's cost him a home final in the first weeks. Well, potentially.
Yeah.
He's at that age now. What is he? 31, 32.
Yep.
Time to start thinking about, what's your responsibility there. And I don't think he should remain captain, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I think there's probably not a bad sort of line of reasoning for that. And I'm not opposed to sort of players getting to that age where they give the captaincy but still play. I think Chris Newman did it at the Tigers. Or was it Newman? Or?
Yeah. Newman did it.
And I think it gives your club a little bit better opportunity to have that change of not culture, but the dynasty change, if that makes sense.
Hawthorn did it with Crawford already, and obviously Sammy Mitchell.
Yep.
Before Hodge. I think it just says that, to the rest of the team that we're not, it's one thing to play near the line and the unsociable football and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's another thing when you're putting yourself in danger of weeks for stupid shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is costing the rest of the team.
Yep.
So, look, it might mean that Roughhead or Lewis steps up, or you look to that next generation. But I think it makes a statement and says, "Look, we're not happy with this."
Yep.
So we're talking about Luke Hodge getting off pretty much scot-free?
Yep, that's what we're up to.
2 weeks. So, and the other big MRP then is Fife.
Yep.
So what did you make of it?
Yeah, I thought that's fair enough. I think when it comes to a point where we're sort of debating, is that really bad enough? The answer is generally no.
Would we be having this debate if he didn't already have 2 fines on the books?
No, he would have got it fine.
I think we as society just love debating this little shit. I think that's
Yep.
half the
Of course
enjoyment we get out of footy. So we like these ambiguous rules because you can sit there for the whole week and be like, nah, that's bullshit. Or, this is why I'm really intelligent at football, because this is what I think. Which is sort of the premise for the whole podcast. So.
Yeah, I'm going to say. That's precisely it.
Speaking of that, we've got to give a shout out to the dudes on Reddit as well. We got a bit of a boost in downloads last week due to their sort of, what did I say?
Support.
Yeah, input, support, yeah.
Listening.
Yeah.
Listenership.
Insomnia.
Yeah, they someone recommended us. Recommendations, that's what it was.
Yeah, thank you kindly.
Yeah, cheers, dudes.
While we're doing shout outs then, Justin, a second Dan white belt, asked me to give him a shout out.
What's up, Justin?
At Jitsu last night. He's looking for sponsors, he said.
Okay,
He was joking, but that's fine.
If they're shouting out, I'm going to shout out to Jesse Hogan. I just saw him at the Mitcham Shopping Centre, and I told him to come along, and he said no, so fuck you, Jesse.
Reverse shout out. The go fuck yourself shout out.
Well, he said, you guys Melbourne supporters. I said, well, I go for North Melbourne, and that's pretty close, and you go for Hawthorn.
Okay. Next time,
that was Melbourne.
Yeah.
Next time the answer is yes.
Pretty close, except for the average salary.
We were just watching AFL 360,
Yeah.
and they had Paul Roos and Nathan Buckley on, and they were talking about, when things go bad, do you feel it, and that kind of stuff. And he's saying, you supporters, they talk about footy during the week, and they talk, you get shit from your other friends, your team did bad this weekend, and they're just working, they might be doctors or lawyers, and I thought, yep, that's Melbourne.
Yep.
Looks over at Buckley, I don't know what you're talking about.
Jobs? What?
Doctors, lawyers, we employ lots of them.
So the next big one was Dustin Martin. Thought it's pretty rough, I thought. I thought he's just letting the Collingwood fans know how many games got left in their season.
Like, how the fuck can you have a crack at someone for having a go at Collingwood fans? I mean, if you're going to penalise people for having a crack at Collingwood fans, the game's done.
Well, I thought it was really just a bit of a public service. I mean, we know that Collingwood County, the math in general isn't really their strong point.
Not that strong
So
point.
he was
Not that strong
just,
point
just
at all.
letting them know how many weeks got left. And actually, the National Literacy Board has jumped on board, and they said, if you're out there during the community, see a Collingwood supporter for the next 2 weeks,
Let them know.
just let them know, kind gesture, how many weeks they got left in their season.
He was just correcting him. Like, the guy on the boundary line had both hands up, like both middle fingers. So he's like, we've got one home and one away. And Martin's like, no, you got 2 home, dickhead.
Yeah, he said next week you'll have 1 away.
That's it. And Jack Rewalt doing the old Hulk Hogan.
Did he? That's right, he was too.
Giving him the ear.
Yeah.
Hey, listen to this.
Good fucking on it.
Exactly. Why is it even an issue?
Oh, I think it's great. And we've been talking about this before, about fan interaction. It's got to be... I think it's beautiful to have it there, but you leave it there.
Yeah.
You don't pretend that you actually know these people who are playing this game on television. You've got no idea who they are, so don't pretend that you know them off the field, but go there, treat it as entertainment, and get involved.
Yeah. Cheer the heroes, boo the villains.
Exactly. And you can make up your own heroes, your own villains, but don't believe that it's serious.
On the other side of it too, I have zero problem with the Collingwood fans giving it to the players.
Yeah, not at all.
That's what they're
I'm all
fucking
for
there
it.
for.
As long as it's kept,
Hey.
within certain bounds. Like, you wouldn't racially vilify a bloke or anything like that. But, yeah.
5 minutes left to go in the game. They're
Yep.
down by 17 goals, and they're still there.
Yep, exactly right.
I
Yep.
tell you what, I'll take those fans anytime over the other ones that left 15 minutes earlier.
Yep, even Joffa, I think I saw on his Twitter, he said that he had no problems with it. He was all for it. He
Yeah,
gave him
sure
a
he-
big, strong boo back, and that's what it's all about.
And I said this on Reddit today as well. What I do have a problem with is the commentators having a go at the Richmond's players for giving it back to the crowd.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah.
you're... they're the same commentators that applauded Adam Goodes for doing his war dance.
Yep.
I have no problem with him doing the war dance.
Yep.
Oh, sweet.
But you can't be for one and against the other.
Exactly.
Well, okay, we'll fill the next 3.5 hours with Adam Goodes and the Essendon drug saga. How's that sound?
Too late. We've already done that.
We've already done it. All right, so let's actually get to a game. Yeah, apparently some of the games were interesting this week.
Some were shit, though.
There were some shockers. So first off, Friday night, Port Adelaide brought the pain, got over the Hawks for the second time for the year. Now, maybe it is because I'm a Hawthorn supporter, but I thought the game was pretty lacklustre.
Look, it was funny because I was at the game, rather than going to your birthday, but it was pretty ordinary, to be honest.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
It was... I was sitting with a bunch of Port fans.
That's ordinary to start with.
Well, yeah, it was weird because we're in paying seats. But the
And
thing
you've got
was,
something to say about it.
even when they were up with 5 minutes to go, they were still like, "Shit, are they coming back here, or are they going to let us get this?"
Yeah.
they were sort of incredulous. Even before the match, we went and put bets on. We put on Gunston for first goal, and he fucking missed it, dickhead. And we put money on Hawthorn by 40 plus.
Jesus.
Even the Port supporters I was with weren't putting money on Port, and they would have got tens.
Yeah, I think they literally were 10s, actually, before the start of the game. I
Wouldn't
saw at least
surprise me.
9-something.
And I would have offered 20s. Like you fucking didn't.
Just they looked after the ball well, and Hawthorn couldn't pick it up. Couldn't pick up one grab.
Yeah, exactly. And we were watching the game, and it seemed like the ball just bounced for Port. Didn't matter where it was, the ball just seemed to just bounce right in their lap. And you're looking at it going, how the fuck you get a ball to bounce like that?
Yeah, and now we were saying that as we were watching it, and I think that it's being unfair slightly afterwards. After I settled down, I thought
Yep.
about they were getting more people to the contest. So if the ball's going to bounce somewhere and you've got 3 players versus 1,
Yeah.
chances are it's going to bounce your way.
Yeah.
But and that's, I think, where Port won the night. That and Paddy Ryder. Paddy Ryder had his
Yeah,
best game
he did.
Yep.
in a Port Guernsey.
The things that I noticed, because we were up on level 3, sort of row B, so we got to see pretty much a fair bit of the play. Rioli always had space.
Didn't he?
I have
Yeah.
no idea. Look, it's fair enough to say from the sidelines, but if you're on Rioli, if you're more than 3 feet away from him, you're going to get burned.
Well, I think a lot of it is as well, you know how quick he is, so you've got to play either a couple of metres in front of him, so because once he goes, he's gone.
Yeah.
But if you're playing a couple of metres in front of him, then he sneaks out the back.
Well, he's a brilliant player. That's the problem. If you're right next to him, he's just going to climb on your shoulders.
I mean, to be honest, you play right behind him and get a handful of jumper. That's how you play Cyril Rioli.
Look, we're at professional free kicks all day long.
This is the veteran move.
A lot of the reports of Port is after the game, they were very happy, but at the same time, like, why?
What does it mean?
Where was this? You know,
Yep.
a couple of weeks ago, they got done by 12 goals by Bulldogs
Yeah.
at the same ground.
Yep.
Where was it then?
Yep.
And all that kind of stuff.
And I think Wingard must have heard your criticisms about not making much of a ruckus in Melbourne, so he's pulled one on and Had a blind, I reckon.
He
Well-
needed a knock around the ears
He
first.
did, yeah.
Both Greys did brilliantly.
Yeah, they did, actually.
Archie, he's been a really good step up in the last few weeks.
Sneezy. He's
Yep.
he's lucky for two reasons. One, Stevie J took away the biggest fuck up in front of goal for the week from him. But then he made up for it.
I think that
couple of minutes
might
later.
have made a little cameo in our intro as well.
Yeah, I did it really
Yeah.
brilliant. But look, it was the Archie and Sam Gray and those
Yeah.
likes who were getting the ball a lot and using it well. And that's really what made the difference for Port.
You know how every team's got their whipping boy? The
Yep.
bloke who, even if you go for the team, you're like, can we fucking trade him for anything?
Yep.
Pittard?
Butcher. He
Butcher.
was
Jesus
Oh, yeah.
Christ.
They were getting stuck into him pretty much all along.
Was he in the sub as well?
No.
He got subbed off.
He got subbed out.
And look, watching the game, he didn't do much right. He got the ball, and then he kicked it straight over. The sort of thing where I remember there was one. He's running along the wing just before the 50, and he's gone to centre it in the corridor because no one's forward because everyone's been following the ball. And somehow, even though they had three runners going into open space, he managed to shank it too far, kick it over his
Yeah.
own shoulder, and straight to, I think it was Mitchell. And the whole crowd, the Port supporters have gone, oh, and Hawthorn have gone, huh?
But
What the fuck?
I think you got to draw a line through him from Port's.
Draw a line through and
Yep.
just fucking run off. Look, I don't think he'd make it in SANFL playing like that.
You can't play. If you're kicking like that, either you got to play full back and your job is to handball.
Yeah.
I mean, Dunkley played full back for Sydney. Couldn't kick over a jam tin.
Yep.
But he didn't try to.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've said this before. But playing forward is the dumbest thing you could do. Or
Yep.
you can turn him into a tagger, and he's not strong enough to be a tagger.
No.
Yeah,
But-
especially with a free running game like Port Adelaide play, you really
When they're up,
everyone has to be
yeah.
accountable.
You
You
need the
can't have one person that's just sort of dead weight that's going to be a tagger. They have to be free and running.
And that's what he is. He's dead weight, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I thought that they had some good performances from players like Angus Monfries. He did enough, like was around there being annoying. I think Monfries
Kicked his three.
His haircut looks like the typical haircut you see at, I don't know, like a A-grade lesbian basketball player at any like suburban stadium. You know the one?
You could have just said A-grade basketball player. I don't think you know if you needed that.
Usually helps out of the canteen on Monday nights.
I'll tell you what, though, one thing I did notice is Puopolo never, ever gave up on the contest. He was burning through his set of heels every time he was near the ball.
He has
Yeah.
two speeds, doesn't he?
Yep.
Full on and stop.
Yep.
I didn't see stop. There was no stop at all. Even he's an angry little fucker anyway. He just always looks angry.
He does, doesn't he?
Which is fantastic. He's brilliant to watch because he will always give you every ounce that he's got. He always drags himself off the game completely spent.
Yeah, and like Port, he will try and take every ounce that you got.
Well, fair play.
Yeah.
Good
Look,
living.
it was a big grinding out win for Port, and they'd be very happy with it, and so they should be. It gives them something to take out of the year that otherwise
Yep.
has been a disappointment for them.
Very happy to be pretty fucking surprised, I think.
I think Sam Gray was a standout. I thought he provided the
I think
physicality that Robbie doesn't have.
I did mention to a couple of mates that I think that's what they've been missing. Like,
Yeah.
especially without Wines and Corns.
Yeah.
They don't really, like, you look at their team and who are you physically intimidated by? I mean, definitely not Ryder.
Yeah.
Gray will make you look silly. Boak is probably the most physical of the lot, but
Ooh, Monfries? This bitch is scary, man.
if you're a point
I
poker.
could say Nathan Cracker. He's got a record.
Well, this is true.
I mean, that's a fact. Robbie Gray busted through some packs, and he made a difference early on. And I think he gets best on ground if he kicks those goals.
Yeah.
But for me, Paddy Ryder was best on ground.
Painful. He's 90% of what he was last year in that game. And when he's at 100%, he's a joy to watch. Doesn't matter who you go for. He is a fantastic player.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I thought Hawthorn mucked around a little bit at the start of the game, throwing Frawley down forward. Like, it made sense because Port don't have that many tall forwards.
Yep.
Only really Shooks, obviously, and you had Lake on Shooks or Gibson. And then Westhoff, who's your other marking option, and he was playing down back.
Yep.
And for a lot of the night, Port were playing an 8-man back line.
Yeah.
So it made sense in that respect, but still, I would have rather keep the normal positions and let's try and win
exactly.
this one, go for that top two. But anyway, that's the way it goes sometimes.
One thing I did think of too, Hodge. Do you reckon he's vulnerable now? Because he's out until finals.
Yeah.
But he gets any reportable offence during the first few weeks of finals, he could miss a grand final.
Yeah.
And look, if I was the bloke playing on him, the first thing I'd do is try and niggle him, just to get him off his game. If he gets reported in the first quarter, that's got to be on your mind for the rest of the game.
Well, definitely, but
I mean, he's a pro, don't get me wrong, he's a champion.
But I mean, how does that help you, though? I mean, if you're playing him this week in the finals and you get him reported so he doesn't play next week.
No, but if you get him reported in the first quarter kind of thing, that's at the back of his head.
Yeah,
I'll match. And look, he's the sort of player that you got to look for every advantage you can.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, and I think from a Hawks perspective, you'd be very disappointed if your captain did something like that and jeopardised.
The only other option is to try and take him out, and best fucking luck.
Yeah.
On to Saturday at the MCG. Just a lazy, was it 90, 92, 93 points for the Tigers. 23 goals, 9 is awesome.
It is.
And I think that's
absolutely
what they have last week, something like 22-6 or something stupid.
Yep.
So Tigers are turning it on at the right time of season.
Need a percentage as well.
Need a percentage, back up to 5th. Which is
I think we got 5 percentage points for that game.
5 on the day, yeah.
And that's, well, like you said, round 20, 21.
It's going to
not
be
a bad effort.
It's going to be a beautiful last 2 rounds.
Well, actually, Richmond's last 2 rounds are awesome.
Yeah.
They got Essendon this week, which is
Percentage booster.
You'd hope so for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And then North in the last week is going to be a bother.
Well, North have got Western Bulldogs and Richmond, and those 3 teams are pretty much
all around the mark.
defining the 8.
And look, I thought, obviously, Collingwood didn't make use of their forward inside 50s for the first half. I think when we were listening to the Roos and Buckley on whatever the fucking show is, he said that I think they were 2-1 for inside 50s for the first half or something like that.
Yeah, and still lost.
And if you don't convert, you can see, like with Richmond kicking 9 goals straight in the last quarter, you can see the effect it has on a team from having to defend the entire ground when you turn it over from your inside 50s, and you just can't run out the whole game, because as opposed to, say, kicking a goal, going back to the middle, and then you have to defend half the ground, you turn over in your forward line, then all your team has to defend that entire length of the field because they're going to be running through the lines. So I think that just took the wind of their sails that last quarter and let them get run over.
Well, to me, the big thing was, what the fuck has happened with Ty Vickery? Like, he went from spud to stud, straight up. We had him as a fucking joke for the first probably 12 rounds. He's turned it on in the last
6 years.
Yeah. That's what I was waiting for. Well, maybe that's... But he's been a game breaker the last few weeks.
And especially his kicking from distance. Like, his goal kicking from distance, his action looks beautiful. It's just...
His decision-making's been on point. His ability to grab a mark's been
Yeah,
fantastic.
that's another big thing, is his marking has been excellent. And as Dimmer said afterwards, a really impressive, but it didn't look like it from Jack Riewoldt in that game, where he ran around and did lots of teamwork, positioning, allowing Ty Vickery to have an open forward line and then pushing up the ground to drag the defender up.
They're not getting in each other's way.
Taking his man out of the space.
Which is exactly what Collingwood were doing a lot in their forward line. Elliott and Cloak are running into each other's lines. They're both leading at the same ball rather than making the defenders spread and cover both of them. Yeah,
and the thing is that the Richmond defence under pressure a lot of the time for that first half, and they stood up, which, I mean...
They did well. They showed some maturity, the defence. Sam Lloyd had a blinder as well. Kicked some nice goals.
Yeah, 3 straight, I think, in the first quarter.
Like that. Could have been early on like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
He's had a good one.
Yeah,
they're all lining up to have a good one at the end of the day.
Everyone talks about Rance's All-Australian efforts, and absolutely he deserves it, but Basher Hooley gives them so much rebound.
He's much improved this year in his decision-making, except for one, obviously, poor decision against Freo.
Well, yeah.
But he didn't let it get him down. I think he's had good weeks every week since that game.
You see, to me, that is even better. Everyone's going to have that clanger. It just happens that his clanger pretty much cost him the match. But his ability to come back and just hit the game hard 2 weeks in a row after that, it's been fantastic. A great measure of mental toughness is what he's going to need in the next few weeks.
And he just knows where he fits into the team now. So, I mean, I think it's made it a lot easier for cohesion in the team.
Yeah, now he's finished Ramadan, he'll actually be able to think clearly.
Yeah, this is true.
Without joking, that will make it easier for him.
Yeah, it is. Shane Edwards came back as well from broken leg.
Yeah, first game back.
Had a good game.
Yeah, that was good.
When you've had, what's he had, 2 months out or something like that?
Yeah, but I think it was 6 weeks, something like that.
All you want to do is just be there at the end of the game.
Yep.
Did they sub him out?
Yeah, subbed him out just for precautionary.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's exactly what they would have planned to happen.
And he's a key player going forward into the finals because he's someone that you force opposition to match up against because he can break games open.
And he's having a career best year.
Yeah.
The other beautiful thing was they managed to do this much damage without much contribution from Cochin.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Cochin and Riewoldt, the 2 guys that have been the mainstays of the team, didn't really do much.
Yeah,
they did a lot of good teamwork stuff, but they didn't take hold of the game like they can. So to get this sort of result with your best players, having an off week is fantastic.
Well, your captain, Cochin, had 13 touches. I couldn't tell you the last time he had 13 touches for an entire game.
No, and especially to dominate like that. And Delary did well as well. He did his usual pushing the ball forward hard and playing across the wings. And on the Collingwood side, that usual suspect step up.
Absolutely.
Dean Swan,
Pendlebury, Swan.
Yep. Jamie Elliott did enough in the forward lines. He presented option. Did what he could for a small man, but was playing the big man up forward for a little while there.
I think Marley Williams had some good moments.
Yeah.
Darcy Moore kicked Ivan Marek in the face, which tells me he's brave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if it was an accident.
Did he get out of the park all right?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard from him since.
The good news is
he would have gone straight to the bus, I reckon. Just gone straight on the bus. Right, we're going. Fuck it.
He's like, my pre-season starts now. See you in Vegas, guys.
Vegas, if you're getting the fuck away from there, Marriage probably knows people in Vegas.
Yeah, and one thing, the commentators were talking about how it was smart for Cloak to go up the field and drag Rance down there. But if you looked at it, Rance got lots of turnovers across the middle of the oval and then pumped him straight back into the forward line. So
how optimistic is that? Yeah, Cloak, smart decision that.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Is this one of those named matches? Like, how there's the medal or the cup or everything?
I don't think so.
I think so.
They could call it the bandwagon cup then, because whoever wins this would obviously have a massive bandwagon push, and Richmond, their supporters are just all out in force now. They're fucking loving life. As well you should.
Strong.
Look, absolutely. In your teams, they had a really beautiful march to the finals last year, and this year you think they'll probably, I can see them definitely causing some damage.
Yeah, I don't think nothing about Richmond doing anything.
I'm trying to build it up here.
We'll cautiously wait for that one.
Yeah.
GWS versus the Sydney Swans. I got to admit, I think it all went wrong for GWS at the coin toss. I thought it was a pathetic coin toss.
They should have batted
shit
him.
ass, wasn't it?
It was an awful coin toss. I put them off for the entire day.
Yeah.
They should have put him into bat.
Someone should be held accountable, I reckon.
I reckon it should be. The bloke tossing the coin should be held accountable.
Squarely on his shoulders.
Talking to you, Benny
Yeah,
King.
motherfucker.
Dead to me, motherfucker.
My day will come.
One of my mates won a Twitter competition to toss in the coin. He wouldn't have even gone in it unless I bloody told him to. Anyway, I'm glad GWS got flogged for that. Look, it was a bit of a training run for the Swans. Bit what we expect. Kurt Tippett, though, had 8 scoring shots, which is not a bad return for him. I mean, against a team that really is struggling for backmen. Because they lost a couple extras last week as well. But,
seems to be
you still got to do it.
Following the fashion of getting big men in there and actually kicking straight these days. Sandilands did a pretty good job, and Goldstein's been doing his part as well. So.
Yeah, but they'll be waiting for Kurt Tippett to show up.
This is true.
Like this for a very long time.
Kurt Tippett's probably on more money than both of those two combined.
What?
Yep.
GWS and Sydney.
Yeah, pretty much.
With Big Bud sitting in the stands, that would have been encouraging for him.
Yep.
So I think Franklin's probably back next week or the week after. They want him to have one more game before finals.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, he is the kind of player that doesn't really need a couple of weeks to get in.
Yeah, he should need a quarter or something like that. He's good to go.
Yeah, he just bangs a model on the way in, and he's good to go. Josh Kennedy could be if Fife did get rubbed out, it could be a little smoky for the Brownlow, because I think he's just quietly accumulating the old possessions up there.
Yep. Yeah, I would have thought Hanbury would probably take quite a few off him. But those two are quality players, and you have them in your team, no worries.
Yeah, any day. It's definitely the new mould of midfielder, Kennedy. So big and broad and busts through packs and uses the ball well.
Yep.
He does run like an NFL player.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like his ability to bust packs, it's he's cerebral in how he runs, but also big enough that he can just bust through people.
So one other controversy to come out of this game, James Rose, the sub, comes on in the last quarter. So he's only played 15 minutes. He's kicked 3 goals. It's not a bad effort as a sub for your first game, and he was ecstatic about it, as he should be.
Fucking oath.
Kicks his first goal. Every man runs to give him a high five and a pat on the head.
Yep.
Except for Teddy Richards.
Really?
At fullback, he ran to centre forward and went, "Oh, fuck it." Now, is that a cardinal sin, or is that a 200 gamers right to say, "I'm at fullback, mate, I'll catch you next time"?
No, see, I think it's cardinal sin.
Cardinal sin.
If it was 300 gamers, that's different because you can be like, mate,
I've got to get the walker out.
I'm 30 plus. Maybe just.
Well, he's still 30 plus.
Is he?
Yeah, he's like
only
33,
I didn't know that.
34.
Well, then fuck it. If he's over 30, he can do what he wants. He can just be like, mate, I'm sitting back here.
So Josh has given him a pass. Ben, what do you think?
Well, I think there's two sort of aspects to the answer. I think, one, when you're pumping a team with that much, generally your enthusiasm just sort of wanes a bit. Also,
He did have an order at the bar he was waiting for.
Yeah, and he's not really known for thinking, so he probably just got a bit lost. It's like, hang on, I'm full back, that's right. So he's turned around and trotted on back to the
I
square.
do like how he's run 3/4 of the way, though, and then gone,
Oh, fuck this.
no, this is too far. I'll
What
run
am I
3/4
doing
way
again? Shit.
No, you got to set up.
Change of ends.
No, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
No, I reckon it's a 200 gamers call. If you're at full back, I think you can give it a miss.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck it. He's only a little lad. He's got to learn it.
Yeah, I mean, you can send him a tweet later. It's all good.
Catch him in the change rooms. So GWS anyway, just I think that ends their chance at finals. What thin hope they had, but with their injury list, I think they'll still be happy with their year.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, they're building big. We've been on them earlier in this season, not quite pre-season, but barring injuries, they would be playing finals. I truly believe that.
Yeah, agree.
So the next game is Gold Coast Essendon, and this had no right to be as exciting as it was.
No, except in the change rooms. If you were wanting to party, this is the party cup.
It's the snorters versus the injectors, and we found out which one's more effective. Look, geez, it was a topsy-turvy game with what's his name, Egan, his first roll of the dice in the coach's box.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's. I mean, they've only started their search today, really, for the next coach.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they consider somebody internally. I think they do want to look external.
Yeah, I don't want that job.
No. I'd take it because you only have to work 1 year and you get paid for 2. It's like time and a half, double time all the time. That's just awesome.
Problem is you never work it again the rest of your life.
Incentives
I can
are
take
great.
it. I thought McKernan had a good game as well. And I'm glad he had a good game because he's been one that's tried for Essendon. He's been given impossible roles.
I think he's the only bloke
Yeah.
that gives a shit, to be honest. Listening to a lot of the talk around it, and with players saying "fuck it, I'm out" or whatever, and Taylor Walker saying that the talk that he heard last week among Essendon players was just down. Like they're so far down that they're not even playing for the Guernsey anymore. They're just trying to get through the week. But McKernan, to me, he knows he's playing for his career. And
Still a rookie listed player.
yeah, and look, even if I can't see Essendon getting rid of anyone who's not involved in the supplement saga, but even if they said, "Look, mate, you're not needed," he'd probably say, "You fucking what now?" But I think another team would look at him.
Perhaps, yeah. I'd be
He'd be
very
valued.
I'd be very disappointed if Essendon didn't upgrade into a full.
Oh, you'd have,
Yeah.
you absolutely would have
Now,
to.
I heard flagged that they're going to make sweeping changes to the playing list. That's as much to mitigate the Asada issue as anything else. But now he's out of the picture, so you don't know what's going to happen. They've got a lot of uncontracted players.
Yep.
But this could be an absolute clean out and start again. But I think he's earned his place in the side.
I think he's one of the
effort
few.
alone.
I think there's only maybe
Half a dozen. Maybe half a dozen.
5-6 players that I'd say, all right, you're safe, and the rest of them get offers.
See what's out there.
Yeah, because look, guys like Carlisle, Bagley, Melksham, you'd get value for them, and they're not really giving you much.
Well, Bagley has. Bagley's had a great year. He's been I reckon he's one of the half a dozen. You probably put Hooker, Heppel, and Hurley.
I'd probably keep Zaharakis,
Yeah.
just because he's obviously a smart bloke, having decided not to inject himself with random shit that he didn't know.
And Goddard, and you're arguing with others after that. But on the Gold Coast side of things, Aaron Hall had another good game. He had a good game against Richmond as well the previous week, even though they got pumped. But when it got down to it, in the last few seconds, they had a chance, Essendon. Moving forward, and Dempsey had the long looping handball over to Carlisle, who missed. All he had to do was kick it.
Yep.
All he had to do was kick it to Carlisle. I mean,
There are a few chances like that this weekend.
yeah, it was a 20-metre hand pass.
Yep.
Why not do a 20-metre kick?
Exactly.
He marks, he goes back, he has a safe shot. But anyway, it's very easy to say after the fact.
It's fucking fantastic to say after the fact, 'cause we don't have to do it.
Exactly right.
We don't have to get paid as much as they do either, though.
was it Sam Day had that sickening head clash? Not a head clash, sorry. In the marking contest, he was wrestling with Hurley, and his head went down, and somebody came through to spoil and got him right on the top of the head. It's horrible looking, and there's nothing untoward in it at all. It's just the one of the realities of playing a contact sport.
Yeah. You see, this is another thing that we've been harping on about a little bit, or at least I have. Protect yourself at all times.
Well, he had no choice, though.
No, but just anytime there's any contact, you just want to see the players scrunch up in a small ball. And in this case, it just seemed like he wasn't expecting the contact, which, happens.
He was also tied up with Hurley,
Yeah.
so it's not like he had a choice in the matter.
No, but he's still not making himself small. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I reckon it's been a bit harsh. But it's bad when they're stretchered off and they don't give the customary thumbs up to the crowd.
Yeah.
But he, as the way is these days, he was on Twitter and Instagram afterwards saying, "I'm okay," which, to be honest, is good because the fans will be looking for that. And just you're sitting there with a thumbs up. It was one of the worst looking injuries I've seen, certainly this year.
He might have been just hanging out for that green whistle.
He could have been. But an exciting game, and it's good to see that Gold Coast gave their fans something to cheer as well. On to St Kilda and Geelong. Didn't pick this one. I thought Geelong were going to go through in a canter. But Brenton, you've been saying all year that Saints have got one more inspiring win left in them.
I did.
This is almost it.
I thought it was. I thought this was going to be it. Because I know they had Sydney and Geelong left in the last three from last week. And I thought one of those they're going to knock off. And was it last week they played Sydney? And they got pumped?
I think so.
Yeah. So I thought Geelong would be the one. Unless they play Sydney next week, so I'm picking that one.
Have a quick look.
We'll find out.
Does this count, do you think?
Yeah, I think it kind of does, but, I mean, no, we're playing Sydney next week, so...
Sydney next week.
No, this one doesn't count. Saints, back up next week to finish off strong.
I think they can take a lot out of this.
Yeah.
Now, just quietly, we've already mentioned it, but how many times did you watch the replay of Stevie J wandering into an open goal to get tackled by Savage?
I had to watch it quite a few times to get the sound grab to put on the intro, so I'm fairly adept at where he fucked up there.
They did replay it a few times, and I got to admit, I smiled. And Savage would have played in a lot of those Kennett Curse games as well.
Yep, true.
So he would have got a little bit extra out of that.
Yeah.
It made me smile.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing is that when I was going through the clip getting the sound grab, I was like, I'm an Aaron because it's a really good sort of incident in the game, but it's commentated by BT, and I'm like, do I? Yeah. But yeah, I couldn't find alternate commentary, and fuck it. So
yeah, Stevie J, he's one of those blokes that when he's on, I kind of like watching him, but every other moment, I just feel like someone should take him out.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I'm not the hugest fan. You respect what he did do, but yeah, I think he's probably got to move on now.
He's almost past it, but after his fuck up, he did come back and kick some nice goals, and you could see it meant something to him.
Yeah.
He is a very hungry player,
and
and that's what makes him a good player.
Yeah.
Against Hawks last week too, he kicked some nice goals on his left around the corner. There are still glimpses there.
Yeah, he's definitely got the skills, and I'm not sure if he's naturally talented or just always works hard. I think probably a little bit of both, but he's definitely he's got the ability. It's just body probably not holding up to where it should.
To me, he's like an Ackermanis. Like his highlight reel, spectacular. But would you have a couple of beers with the bloke? I don't know. It'd be interesting. But
his highlight reel is just as good for the bloopers as well, though.
Yeah, yep.
For some of them.
Took it like a champ, though.
He did. He owned it, too, on Twitter afterwards. And it is horrible. I mean, that happened in the first half, I think. And then the game ends up a draw.
Yeah.
And the other big thing from the game was
moving over.
Little mate in the crowd.
Yeah, the umpire. Fella.
I did have his name, but I've forgotten it now, but it doesn't matter. I was watching it. I'm like, there's an umpire in the crowd. And I thought, is he umpiring the Little League? Maybe
that would have been awesome.
Kickers. But he wasn't, because Oz kickers don't sit there.
Yeah.
No, he's just a fan of umpires.
Yeah, fucking loves
and
it.
He's got all signatures over his shirt too.
That was the other thing I saw. Like a pal go, that looks like signatures on the shirt. And then he comes back, he's talking to Lingy. He's like, yeah, I've got more signatures. He goes, all right, give us a holding the ball. And I tell you what, he owned it.
Nailed it.
He's like, this is it. This is the form you need.
I remember they had a little piece. I don't know if it was on the news or something the next day. Had him and his old man in the park. I tell you what, he's got those moves down pat,
hasn't he?
Yeah,
He's
he's definitely got
practicing
got a career. He's been practicing a lot. If he's not going to grow up to be one of the best umpires out there, then we'll be abusing the fuck out of him in 10 years. We'll give you that much.
So he probably earned more than most of the players as well. They have a 30-year career.
There was one part where Channel 7 do a shithouse job of directing camera angles and shit, but somebody's kicked the goal, and when they then focus in on the goal umpire, they went straight to him and did not let them down one bit. The big bang, there
Beautiful.
it is. I thought, kid, you've got a sense of theatre. You've got a sense of timing. If the umpires don't grab him and start putting him in ads or something, God, he's got a future ahead of him, that one.
On the Saints, I thought Nunes showed another good game. Memory doing enough up forward. Didn't kick many goals, but presented an option.
Yeah. Also, I thought that Sam Gilbert, he's probably one of those fringe players who could go around again. I mean, he's not old, but he's been in and out the side and injuries and that kind of stuff. I thought he showed some real dash and made some good decisions, which hasn't been his calling card previously.
Yeah, and especially in a close game like this, you want to see that.
And of course, the big story before the game was Jason Holmes lining up the big American.
That's right, yeah.
He looked like he enjoyed it, and he looked hungry for the ball.
Yep.
He didn't look any more lost than any other first-year ruckman.
No.
Which, to be honest, first-year ruckmen
it's a low
do
threshold.
often get pretty lost easily. I can't see why he's not going to be the first in a long line. Because from college ball to the NBA or the European leagues, it's a fairly big jump. And every year you get hundreds more players coming in. So there's going to be people that miss out. And if you've got the option of playing professional sport in Australia, you're going to look at it.
And he's white.
No, he's not.
Is he?
No. You're thinking of Wood, who plays for Collingwood.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
It's the same as Mike Pike, who was a rugby player.
Yeah.
They're the supreme athletes that don't get their first sport or can't make a living out of it. You go, I want to be a professional sportsman.
Yeah.
What's out there? And AFL is a very hard game to learn, and the skills are very innate. It takes years.
Yeah.
But a bloke who's 6'8" that can jump,
Yep.
we can work with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, on the other side of that is someone like Magic Door, who that just doesn't click for.
Yep.
But this guy looks like there could be something there.
Yeah,
his attack on the
exactly.
ball was pretty good. He's going to give away free kicks, but so does every ruckman.
And look, it is harder when you're picking it up at, what is he, 22? Something along those lines?
I think he's 23, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. I think Goldstein didn't pick up footy till he was 17. But ruckmen generally have a little bit of a greater acceptability of being shit with the ball. If you find a ruckman that's willing to run and kick, then you'd probably say, bloke, what are you fucking doing?
You got a larger margin for error.
Yeah,
ruckman.
there's only 2 or 3 of them in the AFL that you go, okay, I trust him with this field kicking.
Yeah.
So the fact that if that's one of his weaknesses, it's not going to show up as much.
The thing is, we could just have some sort of little clause in free trade agreement with America where we send them running backs or punters and they send us ruckmen.
We'll give you a Jared
We can
Haynes.
work this out,
You
yeah.
give us, Jason Holmes.
Tell you what, God forbid when they find out about Israel Folau.
Oh,
Like, he play wide receiver, running back, do what the fuck he wants.
he's got to go for his 4th coat of football.
Yeah.
I tell you reckon if he goes over to the NFL, then he's going to look at the soccer and go, I reckon I can kick that.
Well, I reckon he's just going from, a better job to a better job in regards to salary.
Keeps
Smart
going up.
man, yeah.
You could end up like Deion Sanders playing Gaelic football and soccer over in Europe.
Yeah.
Something like that, I don't know.
Yeah.
2 more. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, do it once. Fucking knock them both off. But the other thing I did watch was Blitzars. I thought he did a pretty good job. He's had a breakout season for me. He's been fantastic.
Yep.
Just his ability to run as well as be a ruckman. And look, he didn't have the best ruck opposition today, but I thought he did a bloody good job. Stayed mobile, stayed in the contest.
He certainly had a lot of focus on him this year.
Yeah.
As well. So again, bigger players and somebody else that came to the game late because he was athletics or a hurdler or whatever it was. So
Also, people looking for steals in Supercoach as well, they tend to get noticed. Gets a lot of heat behind a player. Like, hey, he's the steal this season,
Very
is he?
true.
Darcy Lang got the Rising Star nod this week as well. He's obviously not going to win the award, but I think he's had a good, consistent couple of games. So I thought it was a good choice. Actually, I thought he went all right.
And stories going around Stevie Motlop. Do you reckon he's going to head off?
I can't see it happening.
Honestly, you wouldn't let it out. Unless you've got Dangerfield locked up, And even then, if you can keep him, you will. But there's going to be a lot of money leaving the club at the end of the year.
Absolutely.
So,
They've got a lot of 30-pluses that have already pulled the pin.
yeah, so I really can't see why you'd let him go unless he's asking for fucking captaincy or some bullshit, which
Which he's not going to,
no,
surely.
No, I wouldn't believe him if he said.
On to Adelaide Crows, who had a training run against Brisbane. Again, a hard match to watch. Zorko had had a lot of the ball, but geez, it's a rough end of the year for Brisbane, and they're just waiting for the end of the season. They're already planning Mad Monday.
Stephen Martin's already stepped up. To me, he has been their best player,
and
far and away.
Rumours are he wants to come back to Melbourne.
Yep.
In that case, he'll have 7 teams that'll put their hand up for him.
Well, they got someone else leaving as well, isn't there? Another big man.
Leuenberger's out of contract, so he might entertain offers elsewhere.
Yeah,
and Brisbane Lions have been mentioned that they're chasing Charlie Dixon and anybody else who's willing, but it's pretty hard to convince somebody to go up to Brisbane.
Yep.
When they're so down, they got that good core still, but they need some bookends.
You need results just to be able to fill out the fat of the team.
Yeah, I think Adcock was another one mentioned that might be leaving.
No, left.
No, that's right. He's gone.
That's
yeah.
right. They've already kicked him. They
He's-
said not in our plans.
Kick/slash jumped. Old mate Taylor Walker's probably ended 3 blokes' careers with his 7 goals. Maybe even add Lepage to it, I don't know. But
He's had a day out.
yeah, and look, he's threatened to do this for a while, and he was against Brisbane, but he's still pulling big sauce as an opponent, and he's no easy beat.
I like Daniel Merritt, the way he plays. So if Taylor's dusting him up, mind you, the ball's down there a lot. He's had a lot of opportunities.
You got to feel sorry for
But still, if it was that easy, someone would kick 7 every week, and they don't.
And look, if you're a full forward and you've got guys like Dangerfield, Sloan giving you nice delivery,
well,
you're really going to look hungry.
It's not like they're under pressure. Dangerfield's got enough time to comb his hair before he marks it.
Pretty much. And the thing is too with
Not
Walker,
pretty much, literally.
Well, yes. The thing is too with Walker, he knows if the ball goes to ground, Eddie Betts is going to snap him from fucking anywhere. So
as he
Better
does.
mark it.
yeah, so he wants to mark, and he knows if he does
the
mark
goal
it, Betts
too.
is still asking for the handball.
Rory Sloane started to find a bit of touch. Obviously he's had that cheek injury. I thought this is, it's a good team to get your form back back against. And, the good thing for Adelaide is their destiny's in their own hands now.
Yep.
So they've got a hard couple of games against West Coast and Geelong to come. But again, win them both, they're in. There's nothing else.
And that's the thing. You're playing two teams who are definitely playing finals, and you're not playing finals to finish 4th, 3rd. You're playing to win the whole thing. So if you can't beat the teams now, probably going to win the flag.
Geelong are probably going to miss out if Adelaide get through.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I think they will too.
I think they're the only teams that can do it because Geelong are on 44, Adelaide on 50. So if Adelaide beat Geelong, you'd say they're safe. If Adelaide lose the 2 and Geelong win 2, they're in.
Yeah, exactly right. Again, Adelaide dining out on the times that they can. On to Sunday, North versus Freo, and I'm very happy to say, picked this like a motherfucker. Absolutely picked it that Freo were going to lose this. I thought they'd lay down, but that didn't happen. Jumped out of the blocks and looked like world beaters in the first quarter. What they kicked? 7 goals in the first quarter.
7-2 in the first quarter.
Yep, that's about when I stopped watching for 2 quarters.
That's when I tuned in and I thought, oh, ball bag, we're fucked. Especially because Sandilands was giving Goldstein a hiding.
Dominating.
Yep.
And he just he looks angry when he plays Goldstein.
Well, he looks angry anyway. I mean,
he does.
He's got that, what do you call it, the giganticism, the massive
brow.
And brow, yeah.
Like eyebrows, like horizontal exclamation marks or some bullshit. But he really did try to stamp his authority on Goldstein early. And look,
and did.
Two Premier League, 2 Premier level ruckmen. Fair enough, that's what you're going to do. And it seemed like after quarter time, Goldstein thought, hang on, I can probably outrun this bastard.
It wasn't just that Sandilands was dominating him, but then when he did get off, he fumbled or made a mistake.
Yeah.
So it was it just wasn't going to be his day.
Yep.
It looks like he's gone into half time. Someone's had a word, or he's going, you know what, I've got to fix this. He's spoken to his rabbi. He sorted it out. He's come back out and he's put it on the field in the second half. Not enough to get more Brownlow votes, which you'll need, but he's done well.
They got the
and
W,
got his team
so-
over the line.
Yeah, I think North Melbourne had lots of contributors, which you need against teams like this.
Yep.
And I think that precedents have been set from like when the Tigers beat them, and also with teams who've been Hawthorn, where you can't have your stars just play well and nobody else is going to do anything.
You're not going to have somebody have a blinder and get you over the line.
Exactly. And I mean, you saw contributions from Higgins. Robbie Tarrant had a fucking blinder.
Yeah, blinder again.
It was Tarrant and Harvey to me were the revelations of the day.
But see, I think even Waite busting packs and presented options
some
did
nice
it well.
marks.
Yeah.
I was cold on Waite mid-season, but in the last probably 4 weeks, he has done a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
He's been Jared Waite, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's he had everything that you should have expected from him.
Yeah.
Well, the criticism of him has always been a flat-track bully, but he had 3 goals in a pretty decent game against ladder leaders.
Contested marks,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and he actually converted the scores.
No, I think Frito did 4 quarters of work as well. Like some of it was shithouse, and then he backed it up with some good stuff. He made up for it. Didn't give up.
For me, I actually thought it was somebody else that stood out for North, and that was Sean Atley.
Yeah.
His run-off halfback, he is just phenomenal in his ability to get 20 metres.
Generally, there's 2 kinds of backmen. You've got those that are stoppers and those that run out and create the play. I thought he did both.
Yep.
Especially in the second half.
Yeah.
And even the last quarter. Rock solid in defence, but wasn't just, taking the mark, all right, let's slow it down now. It's taking the mark, right, where am I going to attack?
Yeah. Yeah.
And straight at it. I reckon it's his best game
Yeah,
that he's
definitely.
ever played.
I think it shows really good cohesion with him and Robbie Tarrant across that back line as well, where
absolutely.
it was just that structure was really, really organised well.
Because there's still an undersized back line, but
Yeah.
there's no Pav,
Yep.
so you got a chance.
Yep.
But when Big Sandilands parks himself in the goal square, you're going to
Yeah.
struggle. And that still happens.
For my money, best team man was Benny Jacobs. He held 5 to 21 possessions, that's a
bad.
win. And he almost got his mate's Brownlow chances a big boost as well.
Tried his
Yep.
best. You say held Nat 5 to 21 possessions. 21's not bad. 5 kicks.
Yep.
5 kicks. That's awesome.
That's really good.
Just better than 1 per quarter.
Yep.
And look, this has been Jacobs' best season. At the end of last season, he probably was lucky to get a contract. And with Greenwood heading off to Collingwood, he's stepped up to his number 1 tagging role, and he's had some big scalps.
Well, I think even at the start of the year, he was still the whipping boy, sitting amongst North. Made mistakes, coming on as a sub. So now it looks like they've given him a role, and he's revelled in it.
I think he's just one of those guys that doesn't understand the game well enough to read it well, but when he's run with, he doesn't have to.
And that doesn't mean he's going to be a tagger for his whole career. Sometimes people start off as taggers, and then they learn the game and they move on. Because
He's usually tagging the best in the league.
Well,
so
you're learning every week.
Yeah, it's not a bad masterclass.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
the other thing too, Harvey gets a contract last week. A bit unlucky just to get 1 year, you'd say, based on the back of that. I thought he was good for 4. Kicks 4 goals.
Yeah, and played well.
Yeah.
And
Some important ones too.
Swallow had a decent game, don't get me wrong, but in terms of on-field leadership, it's Harvey. He kicks that goal, and he revs up, and players are running from all over the field to, get amongst him. He's even revving up the crowd.
I'm going to say, he gets the crowd involved
Yep.
as well. I mean, once you're over 400 games and you're slotting in some of those goals and the hard running that he does
Yeah.
as well.
Yep.
And I do remember that Reddit comment. A Freo person who went to the game said, "How the fuck does Brent Harvey get his own song when he kicks goal?" And I think the response was 400 games, mate.
Yeah.
You get your own soundtrack in that case. But as well,
So Boomer did write that song too.
but the other thing was Nahas, a recycled player, and it seems like he is pretty much trying to emulate Brent Harvey, which nothing wrong with that. And there was one player, I remember, he's running along the wing, he's handballed off to Goldstein. He's in a fair canter, and then as soon as Goldstein's got the ball, he's accelerated like buggery because he wants his fucker back.
Yeah.
And that's just a Brent Harvey 101.
I think Robbie Nahas is still about 10 kilos off Brent Harvey.
Yeah.
He might have an inch on him.
In the arms, at least.
I tell you, he's got a couple of inches on him somewhere else too.
I just
We'll
wonder
leave
if they bother piss testing him when Asada come round or whatever.
Who, Harvey?
No, Nahas.
Nahas,
Did
why's
they bother?
that?
See if he's taking performance-enhancing drugs. Look at him.
Do you
You're taking
remember
the wrong fucking ones.
this was years ago, maybe 15 years ago. Matty Lappin was playing for St Kilda.
Yeah.
They've won the game, and after the game, they're interviewing him in the change rooms.
Yep.
And he's all happy, we've won. And they've gone, he's thin as a rake.
Right.
And they've gone, I've got to go take a whizzer. They give me a piss test. Like, mate, they're not target testing, quite clearly.
Clearly random.
Look, they should have given him a sandwich.
Yeah. I thought they used him as the control.
But look, Freo could afford to lose this. So I don't think they'll lose any sleep over it.
Nah.
Yeah, this is the equivalent of junk time, really.
Pretty much.
Look, Freo, they wouldn't have wanted to have lost it by any
No, of
means,
course not.
but
And they tried to win. They didn't lay down.
yeah, I mean, it was, you kick 7 goals to in the first quarter, and you're in a canter, you're probably going to walk away with a flag. But look, Freo aren't going to be too fast, and it'll be forgotten by everyone but North supporters in 2 weeks' time anyway.
And the fact of the matter is, the next time they come to Melbourne is most likely to be the grand final. They've already earned 2 home finals, and they'll if they win the first one, then they don't need to travel again until the big dance. So they're sitting very pretty. Any issues that they have, they've got time to sort it out, and I don't think they're that worried at all.
No, not especially. The rest of the game's going to be at the G, so they'll be happy.
On to Carlton and Melbourne again. Very hard to watch. Not too much on for this game, except for the Battle of the Rising Stars. And it was Patrick Cripps at one end, Jesse Hogan at the other. And I think this ends the discussion on who gets the Rising Star nod. I think Cripps has to get it.
Absolutely. Fuck Jesse Hogan.
I think Cripps, especially in a squad like that, you probably stand out a little bit more as well.
You're going to get more game time, and more time in the middle.
Exactly.
But still, you still got to do it.
And I mean, your teammates getting sacked left, right, and centre. So
can't keep the coach. Can't keep one of your key forwards.
It's like The Bachelor.
Yeah, well, that Juddy given a lap of honour at the start as well
to
his retirement, which I think was good. I didn't actually see the start of the game, so I don't know if anyone rocked up to see it, but
I think there's a couple.
they would have been there by half time.
Well, it's good to see Juddy get a bit of honour. I mean, he's been a great asset to football. He'll be a fantastic asset to Vizzy for the next 35 years for his contract. So, good luck to him.
I reckon Juddy's going to be in boardrooms, not coaches' boxes, for the rest of his career.
Yeah. I think he'll go down as one of the best West Coast players ever.
I think he'll go down as one of the best ever.
Yeah.
I think he's top 10 of all time. Not just West Coast, just top 10.
Yeah.
When he was up, it was just amazing.
A force.
A lot of those West Coast players are up.
They were really up.
High as balls was the phrase used.
Flying high, as the song goes. Matty Cruiser had a good game. For somebody that's whole career has been marked by knee injuries and whatnot.
Yeah.
They're still waiting, to be honest, for him to come on and live that number 1 draft pick tag.
But they're pop committed now.
Oh, yeah, they've got no choice. They've invested that much in him.
Yep.
I think half the Carlton budget is on knee operations for Cruiser. I mean, they need that return. But the other big whispers during the week was Tommy Bell wants to go up to Brisbane.
Really?
Up to Brisbane.
Up to Brisbane. He's a Brisbane boy.
You think Brisbane are like, someone wants to come in?
They'll take anybody.
Yeah.
They don't care.
I think they're worried whether this is just like a psych. He's going to I'm coming. No, I'm not. Fuck yeah.
They've got his Uber waiting out the front of Carlton club rooms right now.
But how low standard shit do you have? You're like, I'm leaving Carlton to go to Brisbane. It's like, fuck, at least have some ambition, son.
You're leaving Carlton, though. I mean, it's not like he's really jumping that far up the ladder.
That's what I mean.
Or down, I should say.
At least drop a resume in somewhere else. Like, go over to Geelong for a bit, maybe check out Adelaide, I don't know, but...
Shit, could even Paul Roos a resume and then the game.
It's a very unusual situation, but I don't think he's going to leave. Carlton have been saying he's the next Cooter all along. I think it's just, it's this time of year when half the teams have nothing to play for.
Yeah.
These rumours start to generate a little bit more. I think it's either manager driven to try and drive a price up, or it's bored fans.
Yeah, probably 6 to 1, half dozen the other.
Or Journo's getting shit-faced.
It was also the first time in Jesse Hogan's career that he went goalless. So that's what you get for ignoring us.
Retroactively.
West Coast Eagles then did the job against the Bulldogs. I think it was an uphill ask for Bulldogs to go over there in the West. As exciting and as fast-running as they've been, I think everything that they do, West Coast do better.
Yeah.
And bat deeper.
But they might have to do it again in the finals.
Yep.
I think it was just a chance to put a notch on the yardstick and really measure where you're at against those top teams.
Especially over there.
Yeah.
But, was it 70 points in the end?
Something like that.
And West Coast, really started to dine out in the second half when they got away.
The third quarter especially.
That's, I think,
fourth,
a real trait of the Western Australian teams over there. When they get up, they really put the boots in.
Yeah.
West Coast have been given the label of flattering ladder position for 3/4 of the season, but you cannot apply that.
There's-
They are smashing teams, and they've got probably the class midfield of the whole comp.
Well, that's it. We've always said that it's the midfield that'll win you most games.
Yeah.
And they've got a Brownlow medalist, Gaff, who's had maybe a better year than Prittis.
Yep.
Shuey's been awesome.
Sheed,
Nat Nui.
Sheed, Nat Nui back. I mean, the emotion that was behind that.
Yep.
And he got in real early, which would have settled his nerves and got him into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, 48 taps, which would have been a record last season or something.
Yeah.
So how pissed were Sharad Wellingham's parents when they named him Sharad?
Sharad.
Name's Sharad.
He did play for Collingwood.
Well, his mum's name's Sharon and his dad's name's Jared, so it just made sense. I have no idea if that's true, but
It's a fact now.
totally.
Murray Newman has come a long way back to be the sub and kick a goal in this game.
Speaking of bad names, Murray. Who names a kid Murray these days?
Oh, would he do a couple of months for assault?
Did he?
Yeah. Then when he came back, and
He was a new man.
He wasn't. That was the problem. In one of the time trials, the coach beat him.
Oh, Jesus.
That's right.
You know about Worsfold.
I remember
He
hearing
beat him
Holy
in one of the
shit.
time trials and went, mate, fuck off and don't come back until you're ready.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
in fairness, Worsfold is a fit motherfucker, but he should not be fitter than the blokes on the field.
Your pride should make you beat the coach, like, if nothing else.
It does remind me there was one player for the Charlotte, were they the Bobcats then?
Yeah.
Who said something, or was dragging ass, and Jordan said, I could still fucking beat you.
Yeah.
So they had a one-on-one game with cameras.
Oh, wow.
Boy.
Really?
I tell you what, I can't remember that bloke's name.
Yep.
That's the reason. and Jordan's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Because he can trash talk.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Because he's still Michael Jordan. He might be 45.
Yeah.
Still Michael Jordan. Anyway, he scored him and then said, I'm not coming back. Don't be stupid.
Yeah, he's not a fan of slackers either.
No. He'd put him to the sword. Anyway, but it was great to see the crowd still got behind him. Look, he did the crime, did the time. I'm all for redemption.
Yeah.
He kicked the goal and everyone got around him. It's good to see,
Yeah.
football's a redeeming thing like that.
And look, I think for the first half, I thought Western Bulldogs put on a fairly good account of themselves. I thought Mitch Wallace did enough. I thought he did pretty well. Kamari had some good kicks for goal.
Yeah, Cranberry did.
Looked like a genius leaving Essendon now as well.
He's very happy. He's filled in well. I think, again, that's been the Western Bulldogs' rise this year. Has been they haven't relied on a star or anything like that. It's been such an even spread.
Yep.
Well, Liberatore was their build-up star, and
They're
losing
best
him at the
and
start of the
fairest.
season.
Yeah.
Look, it has hurt them, but it has developed a lot of their other midfielders.
And they've got one definite All Australian and probably a couple of others that could be in the squad of 40 and might sneak in. And that definite's Easton Wood. That's it's locked in. He's going to be there.
And look, you can make arguments for Mitch Wallace,
yeah.
Bontempelli, and Bob Murphy for the mascot. Fuck it, get him in there too.
Everybody
He can
loves
coach.
Everybody loves Bob Murphy. So we're getting down to either teams that are playing to shape the finals or teams that are playing to make it look like they want a contract next year.
Yep.
On to round 22, Geelong versus Collingwood, MCG, Friday night.
I think all the games this week are going to be pretty good. Mainly because the Cats aren't playing for finals, but they're playing to beat Collingwood, which is something you want to do.
They still have an outside chance for finals, Geelong, and they've got to play like they want to.
Yep.
Geez, it's going to be tough for Collingwood to come back, I think.
Yeah. I think, especially with the media representation that Bucks has put for the club at the moment, you don't see him really getting up for the last two games. He's very sad. It looks like they're playing, like, what the fuck am I doing here?
And Scott Pendlebury said it after the game that we're playing for no reason.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
No, that's fucking bullshit. You're not playing for no reason. You're playing for your club. You're playing for your teammates. If that's not reason enough, like, granted, you're not making finals. Fuck that. You're paid to play every week. And
Yeah, I've half-assed it. Half-assed it at work before too. Yeah.
No,
I've actually put in 100% a couple of times.
Once or twice.
Twice.
I just sort of think you want the players who hurt after every loss. It doesn't matter whether the season's done or not, or whether you're 10 goals down in the final quarter.
Like Lenny Hayes or something like that.
He still
bring the tears
he
out
did
every
still have 30-odd touches
Yeah.
last week, so he still had a pretty good game. He was in their best 2 or 3, but you can tell that at the back of his mind is that, like, we're not playing finals this year.
Yeah.
And I think it's been a long time since Collingwood haven't played finals.
Yeah.
Probably 5 or 6 years.
Probably more, I reckon.
Yeah, probably more.
Yeah.
So how much are we seeing pressure on Buckley now?
Not this year. No, he's fine because
Same
like
chances.
I said, they've actually made a lot of progress and development this year.
I'd still be happy if I was a Collingwood supporter with where you're going.
However, we've said this before. This is the fourth year Buckley's coached, and the fourth year they've slid down the ladder. He's done a lot of development, but you can't have 5.
Yeah.
Round 6 next year will be interesting. I reckon that's about the mark they're going to reevaluate.
Yeah.
That's when it'll talk. I think will start, and if by the midway of the season, if they're 4 and 8 or something like that, he's in trouble. GWS and Carlton, geez, it's going to be tough. Season's over for both of them.
Yeah.
But look, Carlton showed that something last week in the first half.
Yep.
Well, I think both teams got something to play for. Like Carlton, just for respect. I think Lions are a lock for the spoon now, aren't they?
Well, with their last 2 games, pretty much.
Yeah.
And GWS, a young side that could have achieved more, except for a lot of injuries.
A lot of injuries.
So I think both teams are going to be pretty damn hungry, which is going to be pretty good to see, I think.
Well, Carlton, rumours are that they'll announce Brendan Bolden as their coach in the next 24 hours.
Oh, really?
So it is.
Brucey Bolden.
At least the players will have a little bit of certainty about next year, and they can start to think about that.
Yeah, I think Giants, they're going to be better off this game straight up having a decent toss. So.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
A better toss of the coin, I think, will help them.
So I'm Giants,
Hawthorn, Brisbane down in Tasmania.
Yeah, look, they may as well have held this at Port Arthur. It's going to be a massacre.
It could very well be.
Did you like that one?
That was all right. Crept up on me. It was pretty good.
I dropped the Port Arthur line and you both looked at me blank. And I'm like...
I was thinking, was that funny or just a bit harsh? No, it's pretty funny,
It's all right.
Yep. It's been long enough.
Match of the round, Bulldogs and North at Etihad Stadium.
Yep. It's a match that means something, so right there we've got it.
Means a lot. I think it's going to be an absolute cracker.
It's going to be awesome.
2 teams that love a run from the rebound back. You've got some good forward and back matchups. It'll be interesting to see Tarrant on probably Stringer.
Yeah. 2 teams that play well at Etihad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 teams.
Bulldogs
The roof will
love
definitely be
Etihad.
fucking closed. And 2 midfields that can really run in packs very well when they're on. And they look fucking terrible when they're not. But look, I reckon I'll probably try and scratch up to the game and see how it turns out.
Yeah, probably try and get along. Yeah, I think... Yeah, well, it's just tough. I think maybe the Kangaroos might just get over the line.
What about doing double duty? Go to North and Western Bulldogs, and that'll wrap up about 7 o'clock, and then sneak over to the MCG for Essendon v Richmond.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea at all, actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll probably be there, so we're doing better than most of the Essendon team, because I reckon they'll turn up.
This is true.
They'll just sit at home and go, fuck it, I'll watch it on telly.
They ain't watching shit.
I reckon a good banner for the Richmond cheer squad would just be, I agree, Carlisle. Because that way you can swear without swearing. It's beautiful. Gold Coast hosting Port Adelaide.
I just want to see the banner with suggestion boxes on it. Gold Coast, see, I reckon this would be a good one.
I think so too.
Because, again, 2 teams that match up really nicely. Port are on a high. Gold Coast have been on a high.
We got another high joke? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm worried.
Have we got a snare drum effect?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Get it in. And then...
I was going to say, will Port Adelaide have their 10-win hangover this week, do you think?
10-win hangover.
Yeah, well, they're not a premiership hangover, but they won last week and they acted like it was a premiership.
Yeah, that's true. I think Port will get across the line.
Yeah, so do I.
I think they're just not quite, probably still on the roll from last week. I think hangover will come the week after.
I think they're just hungry
Last
at the
round,
moment, and they want to finish strong. Otherwise, they won't be allowed back across the border, which, if you get stuck in the Gold Coast, there's worse places to be.
Yeah.
I think I might have gone early when I said North Bulldogs is the game of the round, because then you got Adelaide and West Coast Eagles.
In Adelaide.
In Adelaide.
If it was over at Western Australia, you'd have to say West Coast are an absolute lock.
Yeah.
But again, we're in junk time now. West Coast, they're not going to want to get injuries or suspensions or anything like that.
It's not junk time. West Coast need to win one of the next 2 games to guarantee a top 2 spot. Adelaide need to win one of the next 2 games to guarantee a final spot. This game means everything for both these teams. Adelaide have had a couple of easy runs in the last 2 weeks with Brisbane and Essendon and put an absolute belting on both of them.
Yeah.
They need to show it against good opposition now.
Yep.
And this will be a big one for them.
Well, West Coast schooled Western Bulldogs last week. I think Adelaide might actually have their measure, to be honest. Because I don't think West Coast are going to go as hard as Adelaide. Because West Coast playing finals, they're pretty much a lock for top 2. I mean, you wouldn't want to miss out on top 2 position, but
No.
you wouldn't want to go into a final series with injuries to key players more than they already have.
Well, and West Coast do host Saints in the final round of the season.
Yeah, which-
and you'd be
That's a
happy
lock.
to pencil that one in?
Yeah.
And look, it's a lock by a long way. St Kilda will
Over
not
there.
give them trouble over there.
In the final round when they're not playing for anything.
I mean, crazy shit can happen in the final round, but it won't happen in that game.
And Freo hosting Melbourne. I think the only thing about this game is Freo want to show they can put scoreboard pressure on for all 4
Yeah,
quarters.
because especially when you look at who are competing for the final spots, seems like most of them have given out a walloping in the last couple of weeks, last few weeks. Like they really had the ability to put their foot on the throat when they could, except for Freo.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing about Freo is they don't have a lot of guys that can tear you apart on the scoreboard. Their midfield spectacular and their backline as well. But
Yeah.
Ross Lyon teams in general, they build around controlling the pace of the game.
Yeah.
And they're not going to have a match where they're going to score 200 points.
Yeah.
Not generally. But, with that Pavlich making the run last week, he'll get a run out this week for sure. And I think he'll have a day out. Having said that, I think Melbourne will show a bit. I reckon they're going to get up and about.
Yeah, I think they'll have to.
I think if Carlton put bloody 8 goals on Melbourne or 7 goals in the first quarter last week,
Yeah.
Freo at home, they should be looking at 22, 23 goals.
Yeah, for the game.
For the game.
Yeah.
And through all 4 quarters.
Yeah.
They can't.
Yeah.
Their tendency this year has been, let's get up by 7 goals and then okay,
Yep.
we're done. The hard work's done.
And it seems like they just peter out. It seems like they'll play that aggressive style and then try and switch up a little bit, control, and it'll just slowly the margins come down, and all of a sudden the game's in the balance.
And
They don't often get over 100 points either.
No, I
Yeah.
think they've done it 2 or 3 times this year. That's always been the criticism of Freo, that they don't score enough to win a premiership. They're still my pick for the flag.
Yeah.
But I think there's a good chance to start to look at how we can find more avenues to goal. And
Yeah.
Melbourne will give you chances.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
It's a good chance for them to take it. I reckon Walters might have a day out and kick half a dozen.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a fucking good player, that lad.
So that'll do us for round 21. It's all done. We've got 2 games to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're into finals. Here's hoping we can have a month free of Essendon and Goods.
He's hoping we got all 3 of our teams in the finals.
Yeah, it could actually
I'm
happen.
excited. Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right. See you next Tuesday.
All right. Peace.